Okay, we are now at the final one of this week's Parsha, Shabbat Shalom. So, last time we spoke some Minchas Chinuch on the final one, D'var Torah. We will do the same thing as well. I would highly recommend for people to take out the Minchas Chinuch. It's Mitzvah 364, if I remember correctly. It has many pages on many interesting questions relevant to the laws of Tshuva. Incredible ideas that make people think. We will do one today, and we'll show how far, we only have a couple minutes, but how far this extended. Probably you can write an entire book on this theme of the Minchas Chinuch in every other mitzvah. So the Minchas Chinuch says an obvious point. We know there are two, in many ways to do it, but there are two types of mitzvahs. Ben Adam l'chaveri, Ben Adam l'malkam. You could sin against God, you could sin against man. Sin against God, you violate Shabbos. If you violate Shabbos, you don't have to come to me and ask me mechila. It doesn't make. I don't technically suffer from you violating Shabbos. Of course, the world is different, but that's the way the world is different. That someone violates Shabbos, but you don't ask mechila on that. Reverse. If you steal money from me, you don't go to God and start saying, Al Chait, God protect me, God forgive me. No, you have to come back to me and ask me forgiveness and return the money. That's how it's very simple. And now it seems like it's very simple. We have 613 mitzvahs, and on the first thought you'd say, it's pretty easy to know which mitzvah is against God, which mitzvah is against man. The Minchas Chinuch quotes a couple that are not so clear, and because of that, other rabbis have quoted and taken that theme to many mitzvahs. The first most obvious one is kibbud avim, respecting your parents. What is the obligation to respect your parents? God says, respect your parents. It's in the Ten Commandments. Now, the Ten Commandments are divided by 5 and 5. First 5 are man against God. Shabbos, don't curse out. Use Hashem's name in vain. Don't believe in God. The next 5 are against man. It means adultery, kidnapping, stealing. Now, if I would say like that, 5 against 5, you know where the mitzvah of kibbud avim is? Respect your parents? In this one. Which would mean kibbud avim is a sin against God. What does that mean? How can it be sin against God? I openly defied my parents' words. So the Minchas Chinuch explains like this, that the reason why it might be this way is because you have an obligation to act a certain way toward other people. That means be nice, don't lie, don't steal, don't kill them, don't punch them. But when it comes to parents, that's not, you have to do more than that. Parents, you have to stand up when they walk into the room. You're not allowed to disagree with them. You're not allowed to use their first name, even as your friend as a first name. That's extra stuff. Why am I doing that? If I don't do that, it means I call my parents by their first name. I don't stand up when they walk into the room. Who am I violating a sin against? Did I sin against them for not being nice to them? Or no, as a human being, I treated them like I treat my friend, I treat my sister, I treat my cousin, I treat my neighbor. That's fine. But God said, treat them extra, so it's a sin against God. The Minchas Chinuch has this question as a debate. Just for a few to think for ourselves, many other mitzvahs. What about? I speak Lashon Hara against somebody that no one believes. I go over to person A and I say, guess what? Person B is a mass murderer. And person A, for not even 1 second, believes it. Not for 1 second. Who do I ask mechila from? On person B. Do I go to person B and say, by the way, I spoke against you? And I spoke Lashon Hara against you? Or no? Person B, nothing happened. No one believes he's a mass murderer. No one believes anything. But you know what? I spoke Lashon Hara. Go to God and argue to God. What about respecting a rabbi? Do you have to go to the rabbi and ask him mechila? Or do you have to go to God and ask him mechila? What about cursing someone? If I curse someone out, does it have any effect on him whatsoever? If I say someone should die, God, I shouldn't say such words, but if I say it, does that mean he's practically speaking potentially going to die faster because I said something? If you believe there's a power in cursing, you better ask that guy mechila directly. If you believe there's no power, and it's all just, why can't you curse? Because that's his bad form. God says, don't be a bad person, don't curse. Then you ask al chet to God. Another one. Let's say you see someone walking down the street and he needs help with a package. God says you're supposed to help the person out. You're supposed to help him with his animal. His car broke down. You're supposed to help him. Let's say you don't do it. Did I do something against him? God said help him out. But does that mean if I didn't help him out, I sinned against the person? Or no? Normally I don't have to do it. Hashem said it, be extra, then you have to ask Hashem forgiveness. If you go through the 613 mitzvahs, you will realize it's not always so clear who the sin is against. Many times it's clear, but not always is it so clear. We just gave you a couple of examples of one of the great Minchas Chinuch's questions on Hilchos Tshuva. Again, I would say go through the Minchas Chinuch Hilchos Tshuva. He has many, many other fascinating questions. We don't have enough time for this. I wish you good Shabbos. We should all be zeicha to a great din. In Yerushalayim, we should be there for Sukkah's dancing by Simchas Beis Sheva. Thank you.